What common misconceptions really irk you? When people call their background image their screensaver. I don't know why this upsets me so much. My mom calls screenshots screensavers. This irks me to no end. The idea that you are a flip-flopper if you change a long-held idea, concept, or assumption when newer or more accurate information is presented to you. That being said, if you are a rational person who doesn't let your ego consume you with ideas, then changing a view isn't personal but logical. Your ideas, religion, and political associations are not you. They are only your ego grasping onto something to create an I or my in your life. Let it go. Wish I could remember the quote, but someone fairly well knows changed his opinion on an issue and reporter called him out on it. The guy said, "Hey, when I get better info and learn new aspects of a problem that change my view, then I change my opinion." Something like that. It's a good quote. I bet I could Google it. That an anxiety panic attack is just when someone feels stressed and overreacts. You know what an anxiety attack is like? You know that feeling when you're going down the stairs with your arms full and you miss a step, or when you lean back in your chair just a bit too far, then it almost tips you over? It's that feeling non-stop from anywhere to a minute to hours long, and then you can't breathe, like a fat guy is sitting on your chest. As many of you pointed out, they feel a lot like having a heart attack. Late to the party, that your flaccid dong size is related to your erect dong size. It's not. It's common to see people commenting on a nude guy's flaccid dong size, normally negative comments about being small, but it seems no one realizes that there is little relationship between the flaccid and erect lengths. Someone could have a 5-inch flaccid dong that doesn't lengthen during erection, and someone else could have a 2-inch flaccid dong and have a 7-inch erection. It really bothers me when people make small dong jokes based on an image of a flaccid dong. I sound like a bitter man with a small dong. I'm actually a woman. I just like dongs. Sometimes people think that Albert Einstein was bad in school or received bad grades in school. The truth is, he was very good in school and exceptionally good in mathematics and science classes. However, there are far more common misconceptions which annoy me a bit. To clear it up a bit, the root of this misconception lays in several early biographies of Einstein where the author, mixed up the school grading system of Germany and Switzerland. He received mostly good and very good grades. His only really bad grade was in French. He had mostly good to very good grades throughout his life as student and was often the best or among best of his class. That all bacteria are bad for you, and therefore, that antibacterial hand wash, detergent, floor wipes, hand rub, clothes wash etc. is effective and all good for you. The laws about entrapment. Some people really need to do some googling before they start asking drug dealers if they're cops. It's only entrapment if the cops convince you to do something illegal that you were not already intending on doing, and would not have done if those cops had not interacted with you. That Marilyn Monroe was a size 12. I'm not sure why it bothers me so much, except that I used to be really into vintage clothing. People don't understand that a size 12 in 1955 was the equivalent of a size 2 now. At her heaviest she probably wore a modern size 6. I mean, you can tell just by looking at her that she's not a modern size 12. What is wrong with you people? And I'm done ranting. When I started reading this I thought Marilyn Monroe had huge feet. If you wake up early in the morning you're automatically a super productive, upstanding member of society, and if you sleep in and stay up late you need to get your priorities in order. You only use 10% of your brain. No, Morgan Freeman, you actually use all of your brain and Lucy will not gain superpowers. The commercials for Lucy are driving me insane. Lucy will have a seizure. Said this before, but when people don't seem to understand the difference between race, religion, culture, and nationality, tell that to the Jews. The human eye can't see more than 30 FPS. That's not even how your eye works. How theories in science work. Not all sushi is raw fish. It's also interesting to note that the word sushi is Japanese for vinegared rice. It has nothing to do with fish, raw or cooked, at all. That blood inside your body is blue until it reacts with oxygen. Complete bollocks. I hate when people think that it's fine to pass off and ignore real scientific evidence just because of one personal experience. I hate it when my kid eats sugar, it makes him so hyper. Scientists have actually proven that sugar doesn't make children hyper. It's a myth. Well, those scientists have never seen my kid after a bowl of ice cream. Your kids are normal kids. They like to run around. Chicago is no more windy than other cities. It's called the Windy City because of the politicians, but no one knows exactly who coined that, possibly Mark Twain. Everyone asks how windy it is here, and I always have to explain it. I love smoking weed, but I hate the misconception that it is completely harmless. Shaving thickens your hair. Could've. Should've. That when I am explaining a position I am secretly advocating said position, but I'm just too much of a wimp to come out and say it. Best selling equals best. That acne is a result of dirt poor hygiene. If washing my face could cure my acne, I think I would have figured that out a long time ago. The Immaculate Conception is not the virgin birth. The Immaculate Conception refers to the conception of Mary, Jesus' mom. Catholic dogma declares Mary to have been conceived without the stain of original sin, making her the perfect conduit for Christ. That if you know a lot about a religion you must be religious. Whatever your beliefs, religions are a huge part of history, and the various religious texts all make for interesting reads. Check out the Jesus freak over here, guys. Chemicals are bad for you. Everything is chemicals. Frick anyone who says, all men think about is fricking like really I'll frick all yous in the butthole. Saying all, insert group of people, anything, is moronic and intolerant, unless we are talking about men. Frick those guys, they are all the same. The red liquid that seeps out of a steak is blood and that's disgusting, so please cook my ribeye until all the blood is gone so I can enjoy it with some ketchup. No, it's not blood. Please stop thinking that. It is a protein that literally defines that piece of meat as red meat. I don't know how many times I have to tell you, mom, that the little bit of pink found in your already ruined steak is not going to hurt you. That all people with mental disorders are scary, unstable, and dangerous. There are high functioning people and then there are low functioning people with disorders. Some of the greatest people I know have mental disorders whom are high functioning and are able to live normal day-to-day lives. But heaven forbid they breathe a word of their depression, bipolar mood swings, borderline fits of rage, etc. without judgment being passed or people fearing them. Educate yourselves. That lifting weights will make girls bulky. Females lack the amount of the muscle building hormone testosterone, so it is physically impossible for females to put on bulky man muscle. If a female bodybuilder were to supplement with such steroids, then yes, she will put on bulky muscle. For every other female who lifts weights, the worst thing that will happen is that you will get stronger, leaner, healthier and achieve a more toned look. Not to mention girls who lift are immediately more attractive to the opposite gender. So ladies, please ditch the treadmill and pick up a barbell. This concept that seems to float around the office that having free time and not working on something constantly means you're lazy and not a hard worker. If you get all of your daily tasks done in an hour, but spend the rest of your time relaxing and working on a side project, you're slacker. But if it takes you all day to have the same output, you're model employee. I love my job. At any given moment there's half of us browsing Reddit or watching Netflix or something. My boss doesn't care as long as we finish all our work and share anything cool we find with him. His philosophy is that we're a call center for technical support, which is enough stress as it is. I would have to be offered a very large sum of money to leave this working environment. Wherefore does not mean where. To expand, it means why. Juliet is not asking where Romeo is, she is bemoaning that he is a Montague and she is a Capulet. That Jesus was a blue-eyed white guy. He would have looked like a freaking alien in the Middle East. That depression is just the feeling of being sad. I personally don't have depression, but I have some family that do, and I can tell you it's no joke. I hear things like I'm depressed, that my boyfriend broke up with me. No, you're sad. Not saying it can't lead to depression, but there's a big difference between being upset and being depressed. Two historical ones. No one in medieval times really thought the world was flat. Just because you hear that the life expectancy in medieval times was around 30, doesn't mean you were very likely to die at 30. It was the child mortality rate that skewed the life expectancy average downwards. If you made it past childhood, you had a good chance of going past 60, as long as you didn't fight much with bits of metal. That there is some sort of magical pill for losing weight and getting healthy. Proper diet and exercise can't ever be replaced by some sort of pill. Women are better parents. I feel this one. I moved out of my mother's house when I was 12 and have been raised by a single dad ever since. He's a much better person as well as parent, but people always wonder why I moved because it's better to stay with your mom. Stupid. That being offended gives you the right to be in butthole. Just because something offends you, doesn't mean you are in the right. Lifting weights will make women into jacked Olympians with man shoulders and beards. The skinniest girl I know started strength training and she got such a great butt I wanna die. That being poor means you didn't try hard enough to be successful. Success can be measured in ways other than wealth. Success can be measured in ways other than wealth.